You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge.
Okay, I have.
On September 23rd, 2024, officers were dispatched to a welfare check at 10-0101 Morocco Road in Harris County, Texas. The officer made contact with the complainant. The complainant, the defendant's girlfriend, stated she had been living with the defendant for about 4 months.
Asterisk for $1,000 fine and jail time. That's not just courtroom talk. That's your life on the line. When emotions explode into violence, the law doesn't care who started it. It just steps in hard.
Was doing housework in the room with the defendant, and the defendant went through the complainant's phone before leaving the residence. The complainant stated she was on the phone with her friend when the defendant called, but the complainant did not answer the defendant. The defendant texted the complainant asking what she was doing. The complainant replied she was on the phone with her friend, and the defendant became upset and texted her to leave the residence. The complainant stated she heard a door being slammed, realized the defendant had returned, and the defendant walked into a room with a trash bag for her, telling her to pack her shit and leave. The complainant asked the defendant why the phone was hung up, and he told her that stuff was found on her phone and stated he wanted to slap her. The complainant stated the defendant slapped her face with his right hand and told her to get out. The complainant walked out of the residence, and the defendant agreed to take her to a friend's house. That's when the defendant and the complainant argued for approximately 10 minutes in the vehicle, during which the defendant punched her 4 times with his right hand on her left shoulder, and the complainant was about to get out when the defendant stated that he would beat the shit out of her if she did leave the vehicle. The complainant tried twice to leave the vehicle, and both times the defendant threatened her. The defendant stated, "Why do you keep crying, you bitch? I really want to slap you. What are you scared of?" The complainant went to the restroom, left the phone in the vehicle after the defendant said to do so, but the defendant followed her, told her to get out of the bathroom, and gave her 2 choices: to either call her ex-boyfriend or go to Bissonnette Street to give herself out. The complainant stated she felt pain both times she was hit, but did not require medical attention. The complainant said she was scared of the defendant. The defendant was ID'd with his Texas identification.
So they charge a felony assault on him, I see. And this,
Yes,
It's an assault of previous judge.
previous.
he has, from what I see, a prior felony assault of a pregnant person. Tell me it's the same complaining witness. Mr. Adame, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case.
Asterisk prior felony assault on a pregnant woman. That tilts the scales way out of your favor. Judges don't forget patterns, and neither does the law. What would you do if you were on the bench?
Does not appear to be the same complainant, Your Honor.
If I drug test you now, what are you going to test positive for? I'm sending you now for a drug and alcohol test. I want to know what you're going to test positive for. Why are you so angry? You know, this life can be a great life where you have a lot of fun, or it can be a completely rotten, miserable life. And now you're working on your 3rd case, right? All of them violent offenses where at some point your ass is going to get thrown into prison. What do you think they'll do to a small guy like you in prison? This is your 2nd time now you're facing up to 10 years in prison. You and I are now going to work on this anger issue. And if you don't, I'm going to keep you with me. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
First thing we're going to do is I'm sending you for a drug test. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to have you come back, and you and I are going to figure out what to do to work on these anger issues so it stops. How old are you? Well, how old?
22.
What do you do for a living, sir?
I'm looking at concrete.
Did you graduate from high school?
No, sir.
That's the first thing we're also going to work on as well.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's do this. I'm going to send him for right now for a drug test. We'll have him come back and we'll go from there. If you fail to come back, or if you fail to take the drug test, I will double what your felony bond is right now.
Yes, sir.
Do you understand me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll have you sign a reset, and then you'll get with Rachel, and we'll see you back here in half an hour. I don't want to talk about the case.
Yes, sir.
Do you understand? Why so angry?
I've been going through a lot lately, especially my mom passed away eventually. Like
Okay.
these years.
Shh.
Like, I've been having financial problems lately too. So it's just been like stressing for me lately.
Does this help?
No, it made it worse.
Yeah. And the problem is that I get you're angry. We all get angry.
Yes, sir.
Case
Yes, sir.
that makes it so very, it's just so much worse. It's expensive. Now you have to take time out of your day to come out here. You could be looking at prison time up to 10 years now. You know, you've already done that once. They've already reduced one case to a misdemeanor. Do you think they're going to keep doing that?
No, sir.
No. The idea is now we need to get to the root of the problem and figure out why this continues to happen.
Yes, sir.
And the other thing is to find an outlet so that when you do get angry, because it's going to happen,
Yes, sir.
and it's going to happen a lot, but to find another way to be able to deal with it
Yes, sir.
so that you don't unleash on someone else. Carl, what I was thinking is probably doing some kind of, as a condition of bond, anger management classes so that we know he's trying to address the issue so you don't pick up yet a fourth case,
Yes, sir.
right? There are programs out there that you can use that are free. It's just a matter of finding them.
Yes, sir.
Because the last thing we want is you to go to prison and lose nearly a decade of your life because of some stupid thing. You know, there are so many other fish in the sea. It's ridiculous to let someone get under your skin so much so that it causes you to lose control. It's ridiculous. It's silly when 9 times out of 10, had you just let it just, whatever, and just walk.
Here's your real anger test. Can you walk away when someone pushes your buttons? Because losing control once might cost you 10 years. That's not just advice. That's survival.
Around, all right, whatever. Is that what you want? Okay. You walk around, turn the other way, and just walk. I mean, you would have probably made that person so much more, I don't want to say angry, but that's the right way of doing things. If you see someone that's doing something that you don't like, who cares? Just move on. That's what life's about. So that's what I want you to do.
Yes, sir.
I want to somehow address these anger issues so you're not coming back over and over and over. So we don't have a fourth. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
I've given you a lawyer. You're not allowed to use alcohol. You're not allowed to use dope while you're out on this bond. You're not allowed to have contact with the complaining witness in this case. You pick up another case, or you don't follow these conditions, I will be so upset. I'm going to have smoke coming out of my ears. And if that happens, you will be on the losing end of it. Do you understand? If you don't have someone to pony up 10 to 15,000, you will be stuck like Chuck in here until this thing is over. Now, the other thing is this dude never graduated from, how far did you get in school?
Ninth grade.
9th grade. Come on, man. You need to at least get your high school diploma, and we need to work on that as well.
Yes, sir.
So I want you to start looking into GED classes. So at a minimum, you get your high school diploma. Before you ride out of here, that's what I would like. That would make me extremely happy if at a minimum, when we cut you loose, you have your high school diploma. I'm going to bring you back here in 2 weeks, and I want to see what you have done to get into GED classes. If you've done nothing, life will not go well between you and I. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Judge, he already drug tested today. He tested.
That's a negative today.
Yes.
Good. I'm very happy for that. Just continue that up. I don't want any dope, any alcohol.
Yes, sir.
Understand? Okay?
I give him some documentation, anger management, and talking about the GED.
Please. Okay. And then if you need anything,
Yes, sir.
we have resources here with the Managers Assigned Council that can help you out. All you need to do is ask, and we will help you in any way we can.
Thank you.
Okay. Judge, we have the correct address for the complainant now.
Okay, are you cool with that? Okay. So the address on the MOAP is where he lives.
So they were living together and she's now living with her mother. So
Okay.
that will be the correct address. It's that new one and I have it right here.
What about contact between the two? Does she want contact? Do you know?
She would like to pursue charges and she does not want any contact with the defendant. She's
Okay.
actually quite scared of the defendant and believes that if he can't have contact with her, then he's going to ask other people to get in contact with her.
No. He's don't have contact with this person 3 times a week. Or let's do, I don't want to go overboard. Let's do 2 times a week. I want you to do anger management classes. And I want you to prove it to me with a worksheet that you're doing it. If you don't, you know what happens. Do you understand? We're going to fix this thing one way or the other. Okay. So I will amend the agreement so they can go back to this house on